skills in them, I think. And like if you pick one up and you're good at it, you're gonna be able to pick another one up that's different, but you know, you're gonna be able to pick it up slightly easier than someone who plays only action games. And with that, we are off, and this race is underway.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm gonna readjust my time just a little bit. I have Nicole running 1 second behind Panban, so I'm gonna pause real quick and then oh, I paused the wrong person.
Can you also give me a quick count so we're synced up?
Yeah, I got you. And now we're gonna go 26, 27, 28,
Actually,
29.
I'm a little ahead of you.
Yeah.
So we're like right in sync, I think. So I think we're good.
All right, this is gonna work out fine then. And we see that Nicole moving up really quickly past Gary right here. We see that Panban's failing to get that quick kill on Gary, and honestly, Gary should be one of the more guaranteed ones, but sometimes he trolls exceptionally hard, so I can definitely feel for him on this one.
Yeah, and Gary isn't 100% susceptible to the S-hard strats that you were talking about. He's one of more of those AIs that just kind of dies if their screen is full at the very beginning. He seems to be the only one that really falls under that, and there he goes with a running out of stop time and getting a 49-second win there.
Yeah, it's really interesting watching people who don't really have strats, because it shows you how effective strats are, but sometimes how strats can also, you know, play with your emotions at times as well. Because I played with Shadow before he learned about strats, and Shadow at that time, he was still getting some quick kills in there because of the fact that you can brute force your opponent. But so far, we do have Nicole moving on against Brock. 43 seconds, not the best stage, but Brock did get a fortunate clear in there.
Yeah, and when these AIs get clears, just count yourself maybe 20 seconds or more lost right off the bat, just by nature of having to watch the garbage clear, and then maybe them getting a chain and maybe getting another clear, and just when an AI gets a clear, it's just never a good time.
And it's not even just the clears, it's also just making a 3 combo can stall you for another 3 or 4 seconds, that stop lag. We just saw it on Richard's screen right now, where Brock should have been dead probably at least a good 10 or 15 seconds ago on that attempt, but because of the fact that there were a couple of just 3 combos, it just delayed his death by so long. And honestly, at some point, I felt like Brock is going to be able to clear this, but fortunately for Richard, that did not happen. So
yeah, unfortunately not. But we're moving on. We got Nicole here. She's ahead by 1 stage, it looks like.
yeah, she did drop her chain there, though, a little bit unfortunate on her side. And they're going to end up with 2 double chains and a 4 combo, which honestly is probably one of the worst starting blocks in my opinion, because as soon as that gets cleared, you have the computer's going to get 3 rows of blocks, but I guess it doesn't matter because she does get through, but that is troubling. I feel like some of the higher difficulties are going to make mincemeat out of that kind of combo play.
And we see there Richard getting a gold split on Misty.
Yeah, a really nice one as well. And he's actually just beaten Surge as well. He's going to move on to Erica, as now is that one stage deficit that he had is going to be completely transformed into something like a 20-second about, I would say, thereabout difference.
Yeah, it seemed to be about that. Yeah, yeah, it looks like about 16 seconds, but
I want to give a big shout out to Nicole for a second. I'm sorry to interrupt you,
absolutely.
but no, there was a difficult purple situation where if you're making horizontals and you have if there's a difficult situation when you're making horizontals, like if there's too many of the same color blocks, so that moving it would create a 3 before you can make the horizontal chain. For me, I always get lost in that moment, but Nicole just absolutely smashed that situation with a couple of quick keystrokes. You know, she made that happen very quickly, and she made the chain continue to an almost desired point. So I have to give props where props are due. I think Forky pointed out the fact that I love to commentate on swag, and I have to give the first swag award goes to Nicole for sure.
Definitely. And while we were admiring the swag there, Richard's actually pulled ahead by a little bit. He's actually on to Koga now. He got a quicker kill on Erica as Erica was doing some trolling, and about the same time, Richard takes out Koga as Nicole takes out Erica.
Yeah,
So almost exactly a one-stage lead for Richard here.
yeah, that was a really quick turnaround. And if you look at his splits right now, it's 4 gold splits back to back to back right now. He's definitely pulling out all the stops, but he did. Oh, he got a little bit over eager right now. Yeah, that blue switch definitely
Yeah,
messed with him. But we see actually Nicole is going to be resetting on Koga very early on, and so he still has some time to make this up. But I feel like that blue switch really just, I feel like that's a psychological pressure situation, but it actually does get past Sabrina, so now it's almost a 2-stage lead now for PanbanRichard. As we were saying earlier, anyone can take this.
absolutely. And though, you know, we were saying we can give the edge to Nicole here, the edge doesn't mean that they're going to win. She may have the experience and she may have, you know, the time put into this game, but somebody with good amount of practice and a good amount of luck, it can really change the game.
Mm-hmm. I feel like these games, especially for, I feel like Nicole is a kind of mechanically oriented player, although I have seen good solves from her as a fellow relatively mechanically oriented player. I do feel like that's the element of the game that rusts the quickest, or at least you don't start seeing things as well if you're a more mechanically based player. Right now, she's banking on the fact that Koga doesn't get that clear, but he does get the clear by raising it. Just one line more. We need those cards of the heart emotes in the channel right now.
Yeah, one more line. And
Yeah.
Richard's actually pulling ahead even more as he finishes off Blaine there, so we're seeing the first entry into Tracy here.
And did Nicole just die?
Nicole did just take a loss
Oh
there.
my god, this is nuts. Nicole dropping all the marbles after the practice that I saw on Gary. Honestly, it looked really good, and I was thinking to myself, there's no way that Panban can do this like in his current state, because he was practicing, you know. Oh no, I wouldn't say no way, because he was getting his gold splits in the warm-up rounds, but to see this kind of lead out of Panban, it just shows how dynamic this game is and how much preparation can benefit you. But
It really
Nicole does,
is.
yeah, Nicole does get the quick kill on Koga this time. I feel like she might have kind of dug in a little bit too hard on him. You know, she waited for at least close to a minute on each one and ended up dying on one of them. But we do see that Panban had to reset on Tracy as well. And Tracy, as you guys are all familiar, is one of the first kind of what would be a good express? Is like a stop sign, or like a.
He's the first major roadblock, I would
Yeah,
say.
speed bump. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know,
speed bump.
check yourself real quick. You know what I mean? Like the strats that you were doing up until now are not going to work against me. And we see that as he clears the 4 combo on Panban's side, but Panban does have him topped off. There is a chance that he might do it. Oh no, but Tracy does clear with the purples right there. So very unfortunate for Panban here.
Yeah, and that's just the nature of this game sometimes. It can be truly frustrating for any player.
And Tracy goes up to the second tier right now as we're talking about the word frustrating. Second tier is a word that, the series of words that absolutely triggers me when I hear someone else say it. So, and we see Nicole actually get, I mean, 51 seconds, not exactly a quick kill, but she is catching up to this 1 minute Tracy. And I feel like Pandan is feeling the pressure. He's like, I'm going to kill Tracy right now, even if it takes me 2 minutes. So, interesting choice here. He's deciding not to go for the quick kill on Tracy with the reset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could have been nerves. It could have been, you know, just a series of flustered decisions. It could have really been anything, and we could be seeing the recuperation of Nicole.
If you look at Panban 3 right now, his own stack was very low for a very long time, and he's not going to be able to raise anytime soon, whereas Tracy's stack actually looks way better. If I were to start playing right now, I'd rather play with Tracy's stack than I would with Panban's stack. So, if that's saying anything, but oh no, Tracy manages to fail it clear, so he is going to advance, but that's just as Nicole gets to Tracy, so less than a 1 stage difference at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely
Nicole,
a big comeback.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Nicole is making a comeback here. These leads, you can never count on them being certain, especially at this point in the game. It's way too early to call, and simple match taking just a little too long can be the difference between a win and a loss.
Absolutely, and as this game progresses, I feel like experience might be the victor here. I mean, and Nicole has a decent S hard time. I haven't checked her V hard times, but I know that Panban's S hard times are, I mean, they're over 30, but they're close to that 30 range, but not as good as Nicole's. So I feel like as the game becomes more and more like S hard, Nicole gets more and more of an advantage. So at the earlier stages, overall, like, you know, pre-Tracy might have gone to might have gone to Panban by a hair's width, you know, by one stage, but the latter stages, I think it's anyone's game.
Oh, and Richard actually manages to catch Team Rocket out of time there as he moves on to Giovanni. Nicole struggling a bit with Tracy here, and Struggle and Tracy are kind of they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's looking to commit here. She's not going for the reset. I feel like maybe her nerves are now taking into effect, and the fact that she's going to be a little bit flustered going into this, you know, given how badly she's done. But now she goes for the reset after Trace got that horizontal clear. I have to say that's a good choice. Could have maybe come a little bit earlier, but I also understand why she waited a little bit on that one. And wow, a quick kill from Panban's side. I just panned my vision over to the side. He does beat Giovanni real quickly. And we're seeing a kind of similar lead to the one that Panban almost just lost right now.
Yeah, there hasn't been any lead changes, but there have definitely been, you know, there's been some encroachments on the lead, I'd say. Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. You know those when you go to like I guess what do they call it? You know, like the boardwalk at the beach. They have these games where you kind of squirt water into a hole, and then you either pop a balloon or you make a horse go like across the thing, right? And like at some points, like, you know, like based on the way that the game is designed, you know, some horses go faster, some horses go slower. The balloon pops earlier or faster. It feels like we're looking at that, you know what I mean? But Richard so far has been a little bit more consistent than Nicole, so that's why, you know, he's been getting the water into the target more often. So it looks like his balloon might pop earlier, but Nicole has definitely been giving him a run for his money.
Oh yes, and Nicole, I've never known her to be one that gives up without a fight here. Unfortunately, she was force killed there by Team Rocket. She's gonna quit before she lets the kill actually happen, so that she can jump into this match a little faster. And sometimes if we see that happen, we run out of blocks, we just kind of take it and call it a reset, like if we would have reset it anyway, or whatever it happens to be. But that's kind of a bummer. Richard also resetting there on Richie, so both players here kind of struggling with their respective opponents.
Yeah, at the same time, it looks like Nicole might luck out here, because although Rocket did drop a large combo on Nicole, they also had a clear, but they failed to make the clear. They got rid of the blocks that they needed first, and she gets a quick pass over Team Rocket on her next attempt here. And it looks like maybe, no, Panban is not going to be able to pull ahead right now. Giovanni is going, oh, that's not Giovanni, sorry. Richie is going to be able to clear for now, but no, he gets topped off right at the last second. Very nicely done by Panban here. He timed it very well.
If he was like maybe 2 seconds late, he would have been in that for another minute or so.
Absolutely.
I could see the patterns happening.
Yeah.
He was very lucky because he had the yellows lined up ready to be cleared.
And at the same time, though, we see Nicole again pushing on ahead. She's going to be making her way to Richie. Just a little bit over a stage behind now, Panban. With a very nice quick kill against Giovanni there. So looks like Panban's actually going for he's going for some swagger stuff as well, but he's not getting it as consistently as I've seen Nicole get it. So that kind of hampers his progress a little bit. He was trying to go for his second 4 in the chain kind of a little bit late, and it didn't work out for him. And we've seen Nicole reset on Richie, but I feel like if I was Panban right now, I'd probably reset on Lorelei at this moment as well. Because like the way that I'm reading his board right now, or at least Lorelei's board, it looks like it's setting up to be a long match for him right now.
Yeah, Lorelai is getting those easy garbage chains, and ooh, she missed that one. But unfortunately, the clears are coming pretty easily. At this point, perhaps after there's the reset we were waiting for, um, typically a lot of people would, they have their own opinion on when they should reset. Should I reset when they clear and I can see it's a chain, or should I wait and see if maybe they have a follow-up? I'll see the garbage that comes from me clearing that garbage block and see if it's got a chain in it. And if I see it, then I'll reset. Especially on harder difficulties like this, you'll be able to tell, like, okay, is this a good reset spot? And when you see something like that, like you see a chain basically just making itself the garbage block, that's a good spot to reset. Oh no! Yeah. Nicole unfortunately took another loss there.
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of resets, we saw PanbanRichard, he pretty much reset in like the first couple seconds against Lorelai here. It might pay off for him, and it does. But Lorelai, I'm sorry, Nicole follows it up. ilikebeingsmart follows it up with a loss on her side as well. So it looks like maybe a little bit of nerves on both sides. Nicole maybe not reading her internal timer very well. You know how there's like this kind of timer that tells you like, okay, it's time to take the food out the oven. Like, or it's like, oh, like, the microwave is about to be done. It's about to beep before when my parents are asleep or something like that. Like her timer for the stop time that she has been a little bit off recently. She's been dying when she doesn't need to. Meanwhile, Panban, he's moving past Bruno with a very nice quick kill, 17 seconds.
Wow, and he's heading into Gary too here, and I'm looking at Richard's splits here. That is his 7th gold split in this run. He is having an outstanding run right now.
And also, I just want to point out that 7th gold split, I think that he made a mistake on the way he split it. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like he split way after the time that he actually finished. So I think he double split there. Like he was still running through Lorelai while he was getting to that Bruno or something like that. But either way, like that Bruno was so fantastic. I mean, you guys, I just realized that you guys can't see the splits looking at him now. I'm describing something that's invisible to you guys, but his splits are looking incredible right now. If this was a traffic light, I'd be waiting forever, So. But it does look like he made a couple of mistakes against Gary here. We see a lot of 3 combos with no chain follow-ups. And Gary is getting that chain clear going very smoothly for him. And wow, very nice recognition from Panban. He looks over at Gary's screen, probably sees all the clears and all the chains going his way. And he says, nah, let's do this over. Let's run this one back. That's it.
The AI, Gary and Mewtwo, Mewtwo's a different case, but with Gary, he's pretty good at setting up those garbage chains, and if you just so happen to see 3 in the same row, it's probably time to reset.
Yeah.
Because Gary's fast enough to make that happen.
And even though he was setting up a kind of a staircase type situation where, he was going to get the 4 chain and the 5 chain with the same drop, he had so many blocks that it wasn't going to matter. He would definitely get the next chain either way. He had a good good ratio of blocks remaining in terms of colors. And at the same time, we've seen Nicole resetting on a Lorelai. I mean, I feel like she could have reset a little bit earlier because Lorelai's stack was so high and she had so many blocks available to her. But sometimes you just don't want to let go, especially when you're a little bit behind. I don't know if she's following the stream at all or not.
Now, there's always that gamble with resetting. You think, okay, if I reset now, maybe I would have killed them if I would have just waited. And sometimes, like, as you get better at this game, you'll recognize when that's not true. You'll say, okay, no, I know for a fact that I would not have won that one had I just waited. But there's some situations that you really can't figure that out. You really can't make that decision. So that's why you see a lot of people, when you see them running, you're like, I probably would reset there. Maybe in their eyes, they're like, I can't tell if they're going to get that chain.
Yeah.
If they're going to troll me a little bit more, I think I might, their stop time might be low. There's many factors to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking from the outside, it's always a completely different story. I mean, me personally, when I'm doing races on SRL, I never reset, or at least just about never reset. Even though like I give reset recommendations to other people when I'm commentating, I'm trying to go by the book. But when I play, I'm like all ego, all like all in the moment. Like my testosterone and my adrenaline, they're all flowing like through my veins like crazy. I'm telling myself, no, there's no reset. You have to punish that for wasting this time out of your speed run. You have to drop a 16 on them. So I definitely understand the competitive mentality that is at play here, and I definitely respect the players that do reset. And speaking of resets, we got a reset on the Lorelei while Panban moves on into Mewtwo. So this is the stage where you can't reset. Everyone should be familiar with this by now in this tournament. So it's gonna come down to how quickly can you do it. So we've seen VHard Mewtwo pull out some couple of minute matches earlier in the tournament. So
And it looks like Nicole might have Lorelei topped
nice.
off. Got that clear. It is alright. I could see the clear happening, but I can tell from the stop time that that Lorelei was about done there. So Nicole is very behind at this point. Nicole's biggest hope right now is that Richard ends up not able to take out Mewtwo in a timely fashion, or even loses and has to redo Gary 2.
Yeah, Mewtwo. Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, otherwise it looks like Panban might actually have this one in the bag.
Yeah, it might be the case. I mean, Mewtwo has been missing a lot of these chain clears. This garbage also does not look very favorable, but he's not topped off. Oh, if the yellow, no, the yellow does not make it, but is Richard gonna drop in time? No, he doesn't. Richard waited a little bit too long there. Yeah, I think we're at the same point now where Mewtwo was dead for so long there, but was not topped off by one more line. And so now we see actually Nicole is moving on into Gary right now, so there's actually a kind of a do or die situation for both of them. Like if she gets 2 quick kills right here, definitely doable because Mewtwo's stack on Panban's side is very favorable. I would be very happy with this kind of stack if I was Mewtwo.
Yeah, Mewtwo's got a lot of ammunition here, and with Mewtwo's speed, it's gonna be tough to catch him running out of time here. Oh, but he's in stack lowering mode. This could. Ooh.
Oh, he's going for chain. Yeah, he's going for the chains now, and the chains are something that buys him a lot of time. But he does make a couple of mistakes here, but he's gonna have that free 4 right here, and the free 4 is gonna be able to clear. But I like the 2 steals coming out of Panban right here. I feel like 2 steals are honestly the most optimal if you get to that stage in the game, because clearing 2 rows, it's a very low chance that there's gonna be 2 consecutive blocks that are the same color in both rows. Oh, and Mewtwo, wow, Mewtwo goes down, messes up a lot of the clears.
Wow. Mewtwo in 2 minutes as Nicole is
approaching the
just
Mewtwo.
entering Mewtwo.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, the lead went from being in Nicole's favor to being in Panban's favor to being 3 stages, 1 stage, 3 stages, 1 stage, and then 3 stages, 1 stage again, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, absolute roller coaster of a series. Well, I mean, of a match. Sorry.
Is definitely a rubber band coming back and forth. Really, really good run from Richard here. That was very impressive to watch. Seeing that many gold splits is always pretty high when you're watching a speedrunner. No,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say at the same time, I would say that he's kind of a mix. Like he's had some amazing splits and some terrible splits. So like, there's still something to be said about the consistency here. Something that Nicole could take advantage of. One thing that I've seen Nicole do very consistently that I'm personally against is the fact that when she does her first chain and she looks over to the AI side, like, oh, I didn't top them off. Oh, I'll just top them off with the remainder of the blocks that I already have. And she has maybe 3 rows. And then by the time she finishes her second chain, the computer has already dropped enough stuff on her side where she can't raise, so she ends up with a very low stack. So it feels like she goes double or nothing on every stage. I'm not sure if it's a product of her being behind throughout this whole time, or if it's because of the fact that that's just her playstyle. But I think that's something that she may want to look at going into this next game.
That's a good point you bring up. And one thing I did notice, is you can and it's not something that's super it's not something that's very overt. It's a really subtle kind of thing to point out. You can notice the difference in their experience by how they react to certain garbage levels on their opponent. And that's because you'll notice that Nicole has trained herself to glance over at the opponent's board after every chain, and I can tell she does it because she's watching and waiting to see when she's going to drop her chain. She's waiting to see how big her follow-up needs to be. She's waiting for any sort of action on there, and she's also seeing a good time to reset. And that's not something I noticed Panban do a whole lot, and you'll notice that because he's leaving that one line and he's chaining a little too much when the AI only has one line that needs to be topped off. So just a subtle observation from my end, but being able to play this game and look at your opponent while you have a chain going and keeping it going, and then take your eyes off it, look at your opponent, see what your opponent's doing while not losing your chain is something that comes with a lot of practice and a lot of experience in this game.
Yeah, you have to be able to block read very well, and that's what I feel like, things like a time attack come into play is, being aware of the entire board, being the blinzer, summon the blinzer inside of you and know where every block is located, have that mental blackboard available. And what that does for you is training that skill in your own chains allows you to look over at the TPU and see what their blocks are like and think to yourself, okay, maybe he can do this, maybe he can do that. I foresee him maybe getting this chain, but maybe that one as well. I'm not sure. You kind of know when's the next time that you can afford yourself time to look over to his side. At least that's the way I see it. And we definitely don't see that on Panban's side. As we mentioned, I think it was on Gary. I might have been on one of the stages previous to Gary, where we were both. I feel like we were both watching in anticipation of him to finish his chain and drop it and just kill, but just never came. And the AI managed to raise 2 more levels and get the clear, and then that was a wrap. So I definitely agree with you. It feels like there's 2 conflicting problems. Each player kind of battling their own play styles in this race right now. 2 of them showing some weaknesses and of course some definite strengths. The swag from Nicole, the consistent PB times from PanbanRichard on some of the gold splits here. So there's lots to look forward to in the next match.
Absolutely, and I think that both players are gonna, and that's always the good thing about Game 2s, is I think both players are going to be aware of what they need to improve and what went wrong, what went right, and try and make this match 2 as good as it can be. And I'm hoping for a match 3, not because I'm rooting for any particular player, but because I really enjoy watching these races and watching this game, and I want to see more of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a person who I think about a month ago, they're new to the puzzle scene, they're new to the puzzle general Discord, and they asked, how do I get better, right? And about at least 5 different people had 5 different answers, right? And I feel like one thing that's been overlooked is this thing of commentating other people playing. I have never looked at someone play as analytically as I am doing right now. I've never looked at someone else's play and be like, okay, that's something that I like, that's something I don't like, that's something that's better than what I would have done, that's something that I'm interested in. Even when I watch other people's streams regularly, it almost feels like kind of like background entertainment. I'm like, yo, nice chain, bro. But here I'm like being super critical about it. So I feel like if you're an aspiring puzzle player, take the opportunity to watch these streams. These are some of the best puzzle players that you'll see. Watch how they move their blocks, watch and analyze what you agree with and what you don't agree with, and then let us know in the chat if you agree with what we're saying about it or not. Be meta about it.
Yeah, and certainly just playing this game, like playing the game is gonna help you get better at this game, and when you hit the wall from playing it, when you want to really take your gameplay to the next level, watching streams like this, watching other players and kind of picking up on their good habits and looking through all these different sources of ways to play this game is going to help you get better. And you're just going to you're gonna like I'm watching some of these people that I have noticed never played these games before, and all of a sudden this tournament, just a few short weeks later, they're doing incredible.
Mhm.
So it doesn't take long to improve.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard the name Tame Man before this tournament. I've never heard the name Panban before this tournament. You know what I mean? Like, and these players are playing phenomenally right now. So, major props to all the newcomers and all the people who are learning at the moment. We were all there at one point, and honestly, I'm a little bit envious. I wish that I was familiar with the speedrunning scene when I was first learning this game, because I've spent many years playing this game just one-on-one at my friend's house. Never owned the system, never had, you know, it on my computer or anything like that. I would just, you know, show up at his house and be like, okay, let's go, right? And but now that I'm seeing these players, I mean, Blinzer, FFR, you know, like so many people to look up to in the scene, so many people playing amazing, and to be able to extract the knowledge and the skills and the combo vision from from the players that you're watching. I mean, there's no better time than now, I think. I mean, this PPL tournament is really showcasing a lot of the skills and strategies that the top of the top use in order to get good at this game. So definitely something to look forward to and look at right now as we're watching these players play.
Yeah, and you'll one of the biggest things I think when a new player comes in and they want to learn this game, they want to learn how to play, they want to start speed running, and the most common question they ask is, how do you see the blocks? How can you see these chains being made? How can you like look at this board and go, okay, I see a chain in there? And to be honest, for everyone, the answer is just a little bit different. Maybe somebody is just good at taking in all the information. Maybe someone's good at really just kind of looking in specific spots for continuation of chains, or maybe they're just really good at pattern recognition, or their one color is really dominant and they can,
Yeah.
it's really just all about playing the game, figuring out what works for you, and then adding onto it with everyone else's abilities, and just kind of working with each other to improve.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned color. I was going to say something about that, but it looks like we are setting up for the race right now. They're both at the V hard button. And it looks like Puzzly begins. No, okay, she's just resetting the V hard so that she can just do a one-click setup for the race. So I guess we have a little bit of time. So on V hard, what you said about color, my friend asked me, like a friend that I taught how to play. We played for a long time. He's got pretty good. He asked me like, so what color do you look for? I'm like, wait, what? Like I don't see color. You know, like for me, it feels like if there was a big CRT screen and we were in Minority Report, my fingers would be like I would put my fingers on all the same color. It doesn't matter to me what color they are. Like the 5 reds are here, and I put I can see 5 of them at once, and I connect them into a potential combo, and then I see these 5 greens here. But enough about me. Let's look at this race right now. We're going to race number 2 between Nicole, aka ilikebeingsmart, and PanbanRichard. And my timer is at 15, 16, 17. Is that good for you?
Yeah, about a second behind, but it's no big deal.
Alright, well, looks like it's going to be alright. And let's see how these players start off. We see a 5-chain coming out with 2-4 combos from Richard. I mean, that is the safe play, but it looks like it is going to pay off a little bit slower than Nicole's. Nicole does get a 4-second lead on that first stage. Nothing major, as we learned from last game, but still something to be taken note of.
Two sub 20 round ones though is showing that they're both ready to go. They're both willing to get their hands dirty per se. And we saw there Nicole started to do the strategy, ended up accidentally messing up, and instead of trying to chain with what she had, she raised just a little bit more to give herself that ammunition back.
Yeah, speaking of mistakes, I mean, I feel like it might have been a mistake what she did right here. She went for the 4 combo, 3 combo, 5 combo, 7 combo, which I believe is not really a thing, and that's part of the reason why I feel like Brock got the clear off here. But if we look at her screen, I mean, she did get the kill quicker than Richard did. Richard probably made a mistake. I was looking at his screen at the moment, but he must have made a mistake that's even greater than Nicole's, because Brock is gonna get that 3rd or 4th clear now at this point.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be in for a roller coaster of a ride. So looks like Panban's falling behind on the starting stage again, but it's gonna be a question of how quick it's gonna take Brock to clear this now.
And it looks like Brock is out of stop time. There he goes. It it's one of those. If you give them the time to do it, they're gonna troll you. So you gotta really try not to give them all that time. You gotta keep them topped off.
Mm-hmm. And at the same time, we see Nicole. She went for a 6-chain on Misty here. It is gonna pay off. She is gonna drop it at the appropriate time, but I can't help but feel that Nicole's kind of going for that overkill strat. Maybe she's kind of trying to overcorrect based on what happened to her in the last series. She's going for a lot more volume right now. At the same time, we see Panban with a 15-second Misty. Very nice for him. He's going to be moving on into Lieutenant Surge, just a couple seconds behind Nicole now.
I'd say the overkill strats are probably a safe move in this tournament. For a speed run for PB or a speed run just for a good time, doing the bare minimum or doing exactly what's necessary is a good thing is a good practice to be into. But for a race where you can't reset the timer, you can't go back for a better run, you're stuck with the run you have. Making sure that you always have enough garbage is a really good safety strat, and I think safety strats are very valuable in a scenario like this. It's better to be topped off at all times rather than not have enough constantly.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. But at the same time, I'm thinking back to when we saw, I think it was Flag Will Stand Cards of the Heart. No, Tame at Cards of the Heart. The amount of garbage that each player was either burdening them or helping them in different situations. Like you try to throw a bunch of combos in as Cards does, and sometimes it would work in his favor, and sometimes it would work against him. Because once the clear would come in, the other character would have a lot of moving blocks, but that only happens at the later stage. In these earlier stages, I feel like overkilling is even more pertinent than it normally is. So I definitely agree with Nicole's decision here. Just I want to see how she copes with her late game situation, because both her and Richard struggle with it. So I think that's where we're going to see potentially the biggest differences in playstyle decisions.
Yeah, for sure.
And I realize that I just ranted for like 2 minutes now, because we see Nicole. She just finished up on Surge right now, but Panban is already moving on to Erica here, and this Erica does have quite a number of blocks, but she's not gonna get it clear. She was stuck in that untraded chain mode, and he's gonna pull into a nice little slightly under a 1-stage lead.
It's always impressive watching these AI, like how the AI make their decisions. Do they chain? Do they just try and lower? Do they just try to make clears? What's actually going on in their programming? And I'll never know. I don't. That's one of those programming decisions that's just it is what it is.
Wow, and this quick kill on on Nicole's side definitely felt like it was a little bit fortunate, but it worked out definitely in her favor. And as she's moving to Koga, only a couple of seconds, I mean just a handful of seconds, 30 seconds behind Panban here. It's still neck and neck, very similar to a lot of the portions of the previous race, so it's still anyone's games here.
Yeah, those wins, like the one you were describing with, well, I call those bailout wins, and that's when I make a mistake, but the AI dies anyway, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna complain about that one. Nicole with another really fast kill there on Koga, pulling ahead actually here now. So we got our first lead change here.
Yeah, and I feel like she got a little bit lucky on that one too. I hate to call somebody out for it, but she only dropped 1-4 combo before the chain. And speaking of what you were talking about earlier about the programming, it definitely feels like there is a mode where some of the AI, they're like, okay, it's time for me to go for these chains. And then they're like, damn, but I'm not fast enough, and I can't go any faster because I've been programmed to go slower than I should be. That's my interpretation at least. And looking at it, we definitely saw Erica go through some of that for Panban. And Panban actually had to reset on Koga here, and I definitely agree with him. He's been spending a little bit too much time on him. And meanwhile, Nicole is passing him a little bit ahead, but is she not? No, she's not going to be able to get the clear here. I'm sorry, not the clear, the quick kill here, as Sabrina is gonna get the clear, and yeah, looks like it's gonna be tight once again, depending on how long Sabrina takes here.
Richard there getting a stack raise 6 combo as he finishes off Koga there. I always love seeing those when you raise the stack and there's just like the perfect block underneath and you just get a really big combo out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they're finishing up Sabrina as well.
So about a 1-stage difference here, and I definitely agree with you. That's one of the most frustrating things, especially when you're trying to think about your first 4 into 4. I used to have this bad habit of setting up the lower half of the 4. I'd have 2 blocks at the bottom. I'd align them and then raise. And while I'm raising, you know, the 2 blocks at the bottom would connect with something below it, and I'd be like, wait, what? But okay, so speaking of that, let's look over here at the back of the games though real quick, because we got a really quick kill from Richard. You know, a 1 minute gold split here for Richard on Sabrina. Now he's only again though that handful of maybe 30 seconds behind Nicole, so this game is still neck and neck. Richard really turning it up for this tournament right now.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that his game 1 win was a fluke. He certainly wants this, but Nicole is not going to make it easy for him as Nicole pulls out another win against Blaine, so she's maintaining her lead. I don't think she's going to give this one up at all.
Yeah, but if we look at Blaine right now, I mean, he's going to clear that 4 combo with a chain clear, but he has a lot of blocks to try to get rid of, and the second chain did come in. It is going to be a little bit harder for him to clear this. And wow, 1 click away from the clear. I was rooting for Richard that whole entire way through, because honestly, Richard was like, he deserved that quick kill in my opinion. But yeah, Blaine was kept chipping at it until he was 1 click away from getting the clear. And I was almost fearing for Richard. Like, you know, I felt like I was gonna shout, "That's bullshit!" And I'm like, like really loud, because that's what I do on my stream, because I rage real hard. I was like, "Yo, shit." But he did manage to get it. But at the same time, Nicole does get her kill as well. And moving on into Rockets, maintaining that 1-stage lead. And the 15-second Tracy, Panban says, "Yo, your Tracy mythology, I don't care about it." 42 seconds off my best gold split. We see 4 gold splits from Panban here in this race as well. This is nuts. Man,
so wow. Oh, it looks like Rocket on Nicole's side is just needs a little bit more, and he unfortunately got that clear.
Yeah.
They had no stop time. I recognize that they had absolutely no stop time left.
And they went for the second tier on the second clear there with the blues up top. That's so painful to see, but they did mess up the next tier. It's going to be a question of how quickly they can get this clear. They don't get this clear at all, actually. They mess it up. They leave only the reds on the other side of the board, and they can't get it. And look at this again. PanbanRichard actually got a little bit lucky on his rocket as well. Yeah, he was one row short, and I feel like Rocket definitely had the time to raise and clear if the favorable blocks came out, but the favorable blocks just did not come out. And now we see Nicole only, I would say, maybe like 5 or 6 seconds against ahead of Richard right now. Yeah, so this is so tight right now between these 2 players. And Richard goes for the drop 4 combo clear, drop 4 combo chain, I'm sorry, he misses it, so that's definitely a bad look for him. Maybe some of the nerves are starting to factor in right now.
I have noticed that Richard is actually a pretty cool customer when it comes to tournaments and online matches. So I'm not 100% sure if it really is nerves with him. It could just be inexperience showing, or it could be any number of things, but I've never known him to be a very nervous person. And Nicole getting trolled really hard by Giovanni here, not only getting the chain, but also going second tier to make sure that other garbage block gets taken care of.
Oh my god, but we do see Giovanni kind of taking the suboptimal routes right now, and that could lead to a quick kill for him. Yeah, it looks like it did happen. Well, not quick kill, but if he does manage to pass Giovanni because of the fact that he messed up on a couple of those clears, they're definitely not optimal AI right there. Meanwhile, Richard is struggling on his Giovanni. I like what you said about the nerves earlier. I don't know him as well as a runner, I definitely think that inexperience could easily be a part of it, considering the fact that the timing of PPL is different from Tetris Attack is different from any other game. So trying to get a drop 4 combo into a chain is actually quite difficult. You know, it's a very precise timing, and it depends on how many floors up you are from the chain that you're trying to connect with.
Ooh.
Lots of things that I play here.
We actually just saw Richard there take his first loss, unfortunately, to Giovanni.
Yeah, do you always go all the way back to the main menu? Because I don't think you do.
No, I think he actually picked no, I don't want to continue.
Wow, yeah, that's
so that's just a mistake on his part.
Yeah, mechanical mistake, absolutely.
And I've done it too, where, you know, like, it's such a habit for me since I don't lose too terribly often to the AI that when I lose, I'm just like, I'll quit. And I'm like, oh wait, no, I can't quit. And then I shamefully, slowly make it back to the game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I mean, I probably die a lot more often than you do. But for me, the issue is that I get a bad starting block, and I'll just like quick reset, right? I'm like, wait, this is tournament. I didn't mean to reset. Like, I should have probably made the best of what I had. I'm not going for my record right now or my PB right now. I'm just trying to get by. So I definitely understand that, you know, those mechanical things that we program inside ourselves to, like, you know, get to the next stage quicker. But speaking of getting to the next stage quicker,
the
Cole
one
barely.
line. Oh, the one line and
yeah. The one line into the one click, you know, she just barely by an edge of her hair in both directions didn't kill him, and then he didn't live by the same amount of space. You know, so it kind of evened itself out, you know, it was like a karmic justice of sorts.
Right. They need to. These AI need to stop doing that. They need to stop going one click away and then loop, because my heart cannot take it.
Absolutely. And we see a really pretty block from Nicole here. I mean, she was gonna get cleared because of the fact that she got unlucky. There was a horizontal fire under it. Nothing you can really do about it at this point. But Lorelai's not gonna get. Oh wow, she gets it on the air. I thought she was gonna go for the horizontal purple, but she didn't. So I was like feeling really good for Nicole for a second. But then she went for the air clear, and then I was like, wait, what?
It's never fair when they're like, oh, I'll just ride this invisible block all the way over. No, You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, and then there was the what's that meme? It's like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and puzzle. That's the theme of puzzle speedrunning. I feel like is that constant yes, no, yes, no. And speaking of yes, no, I mean PanbanRichard is struggling on this Geo for the past over 4 minutes now. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's so rough. I can see him thinking with his cursor right now. I'm thinking with him, and I'm like, bro, just do it. You got this.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to make sure that he got his 4 into 4 this time.
Yeah. But at the same time, he did end the chain real early, and it looks like Giovanni actually dropped a ton of stuff on top of him. So
Giovanni had like nothing on his board, so Richard needed a lot more stuff there. Looks like he's topped off.
Wait, if he tops off of Giovanni right now... Oh no,
he's got the second tier.
No. That's so painful, and this is gonna be another painful Giovanni for PanbanRichard, I feel like.
And
oh wait, hold on. It's topped off. I mean, that was the commentator's curse in reverse. You know, I kind of I helped the player there on that one, I think.
And while he was, you know, getting some trouble on Giovanni there, I'm seeing some Lorelai troubles on Nicole's side here as well. Nicole going out by 2-minute fight right now in game time, which by this point, it's like I should have reset a long time ago.
Yeah.
But luckily she didn't, because she finally ended up winning. But
yeah. As Tayman says, he says that it's the women that give him the trouble at this difficulty. Like it's Brina, Erica, and Lorelai that give him the most trouble in this game. So I definitely the Lorelai woes definitely exist. They're out there. They're known. She's like a female troll seed, I would say.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people who have had a lot of trouble with Lorelai, and for me, it's always Sabrina. And oh wow, she was unhappy about that Lorelai as she smacks Bruno in the face there with a 14-second win.
Yeah, very nice win there by her. She was struggling a little bit there, but Panban is still 3 stages behind. At this point, it's not the kind of 3 stages that we were facing earlier in the previous game, where you know, there was still time to come back. Although we did see Nicole get to Mewtwo at the same time that PanbanRichard was finishing Mewtwo, so even at this point, almost anything can happen. It all depends on how this Gary and this Mewtwo go for Nicole.
Mm-hmm. Also, I, as a kind of an unrelated observation here, I will say that our 2 players here are actually using these superior block patterns here by using the Tetris attack block patterns instead of the badges.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Tetris attack patterns instead of the badges? What do you mean?
If you look at their panels, they're using the classic panels instead of the badges.
Yeah, I disagree with this. I feel like for me personally, I feel like I only see Puzzle League in one way. You know what I mean? It's kind of like turning the color on and off on your display. I'm very much a Puzzle League, puzzle blocks oriented player. But enough about me once again. I'm sorry for being the most egotistical commentator in the universe. We're going into Mewtwo on Nicole's side right now, so she does fail to get the 4 into 4, I think, but she's gonna go with at least a 6 chain here, going into 7 here. Looks like she wanted the 8 but didn't go for it. I feel like she might be the one that's neglecting the other side, but she does get the quick hit.
Wow, 18 on a Mewtwo, and that is it for that round.
Yeah, that was absolute smash on Mewtwo. I mean, it looked like she was just on a wave, you know what I mean? Like, she was cruising through that run.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because at that last stage, when I saw her that she missed the yellow chain at the bottom, it looks like she wanted to go from the 7 chain to the 8 chain, and she just finished it because it was just like, you know, it was there. And then she kept chaining afterwards. It looked like she already knew that she had won that one. So
yeah, and it also looking like Panban doesn't want to continue his run. He's going to be resetting his splits and possibly setting up for our game 3 here, and I don't really blame him for that. Being at Richie, he was probably in for a long run there. So
no, but I also respect people like Tayman, who he played at the game when I think he was around Richie as well. Is because I feel like there's no better time to practice your V-hard late stages than when your opponent just beat you and you're at Richie or whatever, and you have like the opponent has to wait for you to clear the rest of the game, right? So, I mean, and you're going to be playing that same game immediately afterwards. There's no better time to do that. So, either way, I feel like maybe he just wants to get it over with. Maybe he wants to get into the early stages quicker. We've seen some strong play from him there. So,
it could also be that it's kind of late in the night before he starts to really get hit with that fatigue from the day. He probably wants to, you know, try and get this over with. But yeah, as everyone's saying, we are in for a round 3, everybody. Exactly what we all wanted.
Yeah, and I have to relieve myself, so I'll be right back a couple of minutes if you don't mind.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Be right back.
All right. GG to Nicole for that really good round there. 1847 according to her splits here. So she really had an outstanding run there. You could tell that she was very much upset and ready to come back and rock and roll. I don't know what to expect in this round 3 because we saw some very different play from game 1 to game 2. So it really is anybody's match. We saw a couple of lead changes in game 2. We saw a really big range of leads in round 1. So
We're hoping to see some more lead changes. We're hoping to see some more awesome puzzle action here. We're gonna have a really good game for you guys. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm like knocking on my microphone here. Alpcat, Master Cat. I'm gonna look that up for you right now. All right, so Nicole's PB is a 1506. And I believe that is Richard's PB on his splits right now at a 1956, so just under sub 20. So as far as PBs go, Nicole has the clear advantage on best time.
I'm really sorry about that.
No problem. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. It looks like the players were waiting for me as well, but they might be doing a little bit of a breather of their own. Because we see that Nicole is at the cheat screen, the code unlock screen, so...
The R lab.
So, I mean, while we're waiting, let's go to the chat and see what the chat has been saying. It looks like we are going to a match 3, boys and girls. And, oh, it looks like you were telling them about their PBs. So,
Yeah.
what are the can you tell me now since I'm here?
Yeah, so we were just talking about ilikebeingsmart, who is actually in 7th place on the VHard leaderboards with a 1506.
Yeah, she's right above me, I think. I'm 1511. I just posted that like 2 weeks ago, and I saw her up there. I'm like, yo, it makes sense.
And Richard, I don't believe has a time on the lead, but I'm gonna go with how his splits look right now on screen, and it's a 1956. So about a 5-minute difference, and the times range quite a bit. World record being 12:11 by Cards of the Heart.
Yeah, and VHard especially, it looks like there's like chunks, you know. I mean, I feel like the top 4 are all like, I feel sub 15, and then the next 5 are all like 15 something, and then after that it's all the people who are sub 20, and but given that Panban is in that just under 20 range, it feels like he can definitely do way better if he just put a little bit more time into the game. We've seen a lot of really quick kills from him. We've seen a lot of consistency, but also a lot of really difficult situations for him, like he had with that Giovanni there, where he just could not get the quick kill. So definitely gonna be interesting even going into this one. As anyone's game, it's 1-1. So let's hear for our competitors in game 3.
All right, let's get hype, everybody in chat. We're ready for this game 3. We're going to see some really good puzzle action here between ilikebeingsmart and PanbanRichard.
Yep,
This
they
is
got
it
the cursors
for
ready.
all the marbles.
Absolutely. I mean, the loser of this gets eliminated. The winner of this moves onwards in the losers bracket. And I mean, we've had a lot of chances going through this tournament. I mean, the group stages were, for the most part, relatively forgiving. I feel, and especially considering the fact that there's a redemption tournament. The losers bracket and winners bracket gives you another chance at redemption. So this is the last life for both of these players, and it's going to be one of them that moves onwards, and one of them that's going to join the spectators for the next match.
Most definitely. Now it looks like they're getting set up in SR. We should be underway shortly.
All right, so given the fact that Panban won game 1, but Nicole won game 2, who do you think that the momentum is going to carry Nicole and her experience, or do you think that Panban is going to come back with a vengeance right now?
You know, it's really hard to say. I think that that Nicole certainly could use a lot of that momentum from her game 2. She seemed to correct a lot of her mistakes from the first round, getting several quick kills that she had not gotten in the previous round. Panban, it seemed almost like he wasn't getting nearly as lucky, and I'm not saying like luck is what wins. I'm saying that everyone in this game needs a bit of luck for every time they play this. That's just part of it. I think luck was against him a lot in this. And I did feel like he was dropping chains a little early. And I really I can't stress enough how important it is to to really watch your opponent's side. You got to watch their screen. You got to really make sure that you have the correct timing down.
Absolutely, and also, I mean, Nicole as well had a couple of really lucky moments from my personal point of view, where it was just one click away. I mean, we commented on a few times where it was like luck mixed with bad luck. You know, yes versus no, yes, no, yes, no. So it's still a very dynamic, very up in the air situation here. And looking at Nicole's screen right now, I mean, she is probably good. Ooh, but we do get the clear on Gary 1 for Nicole's side. Is Gary gonna get? Yes, and Gary gets the clear on Panban as well with the 6th player. Yeah, so both players up to a little bit of a rocky start. No under 20 for either of them, but at least Nicole moves onwards. Actually, just only about 6 seconds ahead.
Yeah, that first Gary fight, it can really... you're not going to be trolled for too terribly long on Gary 1, but...
It sets the mood. It
really does.
Like, you know, when I get that Gary 1 that lasts more than 30 or 40 seconds, right? Like, it's kind of like you showed up at dinner at McDonald's, as opposed to, like, with the candles ready on at a dinner service or something. And, alright, like, cut that analogy short real quick. That quick kill on Brock by Nicole was absolutely beautiful.
That was textbook.
Textbook, yeah, that's the word for it. It was clinical, surgical. And at the same time, we see a mistake coming on from Panban. I think he opened with a 7 combo, or at least he had to have made a 2 chain before making the next block, because there was a solid bar. And part of the reason why that affects players, affects the AI differently than the 4 combos, for any of you guys that don't know, is because the 7 combo or the 2 chain, it creates a solid clearing surface that goes horizontally across the screen, which means the computer can clear at any point. Whereas the 4 combo, not only does the computer have to try to account for it being lower, it also presents a limited clearing surface. Now, speaking of that, I mean, we did see Nicole, I think, throw it down a 4 into a 4, but she didn't have enough chain to back it up with. And Misty almost got lucky there. She got a 2nd tier clear on the drop, but it somehow did not affect the block. So another little bit of luck here for Nicole with that match right there.
Anytime you see a solid single width garbage block all the way across the screen like that, I get slightly triggered in my head. I'm just like, I don't want that there. I do not want that to be there. I don't know why I did that. I really want to reset all these bad thoughts, because I've just mentally trained myself to just avoid seven combos altogether.
And then they still sneak up on you sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, no matter how hard you try, sometimes they just prevent themselves, especially if you're in that situation where you were looking for that 4 combo, looking for that 4 combo, you couldn't find it, your stack is almost to the top, for example, and you're like, okay, I found that 4 combo, yes, I need to get this right now, otherwise the computer's gonna be ready for it, and then you do it, and then it becomes a 7 combo, and you're like, no! So you've already become even more invested into that 4 combo that turned into a 7 than you thought you were, but...
Right, and Nicole, her AI there, not paying attention to what he was doing at all. He was doing some very weird stuff there, but Nicole's definitely going to take that as she moves into Erica. And Ben, not that far behind, also moving into Erica.
Yeah, Panban got extremely lucky. I was looking at his screen as soon as I saw that Nicole moved ahead. I want to see where Panban's going to finish going into this next round, and he got one of those lucky situations where it was a 1-click difference between a clear and a death for Lieutenant Surge there, and so he manages to stay almost neck and neck with Nicole here. And speaking of Nicole, I mean, on her side, the Erica does get the clear here, but she is building quite a few yellow blocks up into a vertical situation here, which is not going to give her a clear. And
Yeah.
it's so painful to see that. Oh my god, I feel so hard for Nicole right now. But, oh my god, the trolls are so real right now. But no, but yes, no.
Exactly. So I'm noticing a lot of the safety strats might actually be doing more to hurt than help. We're seeing a lot of screen shake on her AI side, and when you have too much screen shake, your stop timer does not count down. So they're basically just getting free time there.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that it looks like I wasn't looking at what Nicole was doing as much as I was looking at what the computer was doing. It looked like from what the computer was clearing that Nicole threw a lot of combos into her consequent chains there, and when the first clear hit, it created a lot of blocks that the computer could play around with and a lot of ammunition for them. So definitely very unfortunate for Nicole here, but Panban in the meantime, he did move on to Kogan. Already had time to reset. I think that was a really quick reset. He probably saw something that I didn't manage to catch there. That was
what it was oh wow, great kill on Nicole's side.
Whoa.
What happened with Richard was that he ended his chain way too soon and ended up with a whole bunch of stuff on his side and maybe like 3 or 4 lines of garbage on Koga's side. And instead of fighting with it, he was gonna just reset and hope to get a better one.
And it looks like we have a similar situation in this round where the quick kill was set up pretty well. I mean, the 4 combos were there, but Richard didn't have enough chains to top him off. I mean, Koga still floundered around a little bit, but I'm a little bit worried for Richard here. I mean, if he wasn't able to top off Koga in that situation, then the next stages could be a little bit rougher for him. So it's something to look out for both him and us as the viewers here right now. And let's see.
Did just see a lead change, so Richard here pulling ahead just a little bit on a Sabrina, so he's going to be looking to make this lead as much as he can. He accidentally dropped his chain after making that 4 combo, which is really kind of unfortunate because now the opponent has that early taste of clearing garbage, and they kind of have that garbage clearing mode.
Absolutely, but it doesn't seem to matter actually. I mean, there was just one extra block on Sabrina's side. I mean, we've all been there when we face against our friends, when we play against, like when we play on 8 speed where there was just one block too many. And actually both players move on around the same time, but Panban maintains his 1-stage differential right now.
Yeah, so Nicole's going to be moving into Sabrina here. Richard's moving into Blaine. So far, I've seen some very consistent play from both of them. I haven't seen any like game-breaking mistakes really. I've seen some very just consistent play.
I'm sorry, I was lost in hyperspace for a second. Like,
you're good.
So yeah, going into this next match, I'm flustered right now. I think I said something inappropriate, but regardless of that fact, let's look at the game. Back to the game. It looks like that was a quick kill on Sabrina for Nicole. She did a very good job. I need to be quiet for a second. Take over for a second.
Oh no, you're all good, man. So Nicole's jumping into Blaine here as Richard. So we're actually seeing a tie now. This is Nicole's chance to actually take that lead back. I'm not sure if they're watching each other on stream. I'm not sure if they're watching the Puzzle General stream either. But if they are, this is definitely that point where Nicole, where Richard can see this opportunity, or Nicole, and really try and drive to take that lead.
But Richard got a little bit unlucky there. His 4 combos were underneath the chain, and they both got cleared simultaneously by Blaine there. Meanwhile, if we look at Nicole's screen, she does have a 4 chain on top of the clear combo. There's going to be 3 greens there. It depends on whether Blaine makes it. Blaine does seem to be able to make it there. So it's actually going to be a quite lengthy Blaine for both of these players, I believe.
Yeah, we're seeing Blaine is actually very easily able to set up these clears here, and he's got a lot of ammunition on his side now for chains and for clearing. So this is one of those situations where unless she's really confident in her ability to put him away, this would be a good time for a reset.
Yeah, and we do see that Panban does move on to Tracy though, so actually they both move on to Tracy, so it's again very neck and neck going into this game 3 right now. I mean, this is still that deciding moment that we talked about earlier, that Tracy where the strat starts to shift a little bit, potentially shift a little bit towards Nicole's favor right now.
Just a little bit. We just saw Richard reset, so that puts him just a little bit behind now.
I mean, this is his tournament life. I feel like, I mean, not only, you said that there was no nerves that you've seen in Richard's gameplay before now, but if nerves were to come out, I feel like this might be the moment. And it actually looks like it might be affecting a little bit of both of the players, because we do see Nicole reset as well. I mean, these could be seasoned decisions, but the fact that they had to get to that point, I feel like they both dropped some chains leading up to those decisions, though. So definitely a lot to look into going into this second round of Tracy's right now.
I'm so wrapped up in both of these boards. They're both looking really good, but Tracy is just doing what Tracy does best, and just giving them such a hard time.
I mean, look at Nicole's screen though. That Tracy has so much to work with.
He really does.
I mean, it goes both ways though, because the more of a stack you have under the chains on top, the quicker, the less time you have to clear them, right? Because you have less of a what's called stop time, because stop time depends on how quickly each block pops up as it's being cleared. But at the same time, it's also just so many more moving parts that you can somehow coordinate into a 3, into a 4, into something that adds to stop time. There's a lot of elements at play here right now, and both players are neck and neck. I mean, and both players look like they are committed to this Tracy. And it looks like they're both going to finish at just about the same time as well. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, this is still neck and neck. Both struggle at the same time. The Tracy struggles hit them equilaterally.
Yeah, that was actually very impressive to see both Tracy's running out of stop time at the same time, which counting on an opponent to run out of stop time is kind of a crapshoot, really. You just kind of hope it happens at that point, but you can never count on it.
Whoa. And the swag award for this round goes to Team Rocket on Nicole's side, because they got a 4 chain where I thought that the stop time had run out and the chain timer was over, but they still managed to get it. I was like, wait, what? That works like that? So swag timer goes, swag award goes to Team Rocket, but let's not talk about the AI. Let's talk about the players. And I'm looking at Panban's side right now. He just suffered an unfortunate clear on his Team Rocket right there. And Team Rocket is going to continue to clear, and they have a lot of blocks on top of them as well. A lot of opportunities to clear. They have a horizontal green, a vertical green, and they're going to go for the horizontal one there. And it looks like it's going to be a struggle for both players right now, but maybe a little bit more for Richard.
I'm getting a little nervous at Nicole's side. Ah, there.
Oh,
Dang. Oh,
no.
I looked over at Nicole, saw her stop time was running out, and got really nervous. Fortunately for Nicole, Richard reset, and that kind of put them back on equal footing there.
Yeah. That was nuts. I mean, I feel like if I was Richard and I was aware of what's going on, I would not reset. I would have played that out. But right now, Richard's in the middle of a decent chain right there. We got up to a 5 chain. He made a couple of difficult decisions there to see which block to choose. But he's also looks like he might be playing himself a little bit. You know, he's got 2 pillars on either side, so it's a dangerous situation for him. At the same time, Rocket is struggling to make this clear, but it's one more line once again.
Oh, he needs to
Richard,
drop it.
Oh!
He needs to drop it.
Woo!
Oh, wow. He dropped that right on time. Like, if not just a few seconds later than he should have, because I'm watching Rocket. They are practically dead. They had the 2 lines, and he had a chain going, and I'm like, Richard, drop it. Drop it, please.
Yeah, it was one of those moments where like everyone was thinking it, I feel like, and then you want the message to telepathically reach him, but you know that it won't. Because I was looking at the same thing, you know, he only has 1 line left. Please look at the screen.
Yeah.
Please look at the screen, and there's
Just
no
glance
indication.
over for a second, right?
Yeah, just look now, please. I mean, have the same luxury that we all do as commentators and looking at 4 screens at once. You know, just look at the screen. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Nicole had 2 7 combos there that, or maybe it was a 7 combo that she did a 2 chain with.
Yeah.
She started to chain, saw that Rocket was like setting up something, and she was like, "I'm not taking that. That's not happening."
And Nicole actually right now is making quite a few mistakes. I mean, I think that was it looked like a 2 chain into a 4 chain if I remember correctly, but it started off with a 5. But somehow at the end of the day, it still drops into something that's decent on the other side. But well, if that horizontal, yeah.
Dude, the 1 click, one click once again, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah, and it looks like it's gonna be almost exactly a 1-stage difference once again between these 2 competitors. Who could have imagined that it would be so evenly matched between these 2 players? I mean, we talked about it at the start, but we both gave the edge to Nicole. But going into Giovanni, stage 11 is already no joke for either player right now to be ahead or behind. I mean, it's still anything is possible, but major props to Panban for this kind of climb right now.
I can tell both players really want this, and there's a lot at stake with this match 3 or this game 3 in this matchup. It's this is for everything. The loser of this match will be eliminated, so there's a lot at stake here for these two players.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we look over at Panban's side right now, I mean, Richie's at a lot of blocks and not a lot of blocks on top of him. So I feel like either the reset or the clear into reset is going to come soon on his side. So it's going to stay close once again because actually, 2 clicks. That was a 2-click situation right there.
That was a 2-click, yep.
Yeah.
But actually, what I noticed there with that round is I saw Richard actually end his chain a little bit early there.
Ooh.
He had the opportunity to do another chain there, but he actually ended it because he saw he needed to top them off. So it's almost like our thoughts of glance over at their side, drop that, has actually been reaching him. I saw him do it, and it was perfect.
Nice, very nice, very nice. But going into this, Lorelei is making quite a few mistakes. He cut his chain unintentionally, and we see Lorelei is about to clear that bottom 4 combo. Just as Nicole is moving into Richie right now, Nicole is moving into Richie, and she's not going to be dropping that chain. She's actually going to throw it into another combo as well. And another one. And another one. And who was that? DJ Khaled, I think his name was. And another one. And another one. Yeah. So she just went all out on this on this Richie right now. But Richie does manage to get the clear. He's not going to be able to get an optimal because there's a 4 combo in the way. But oof. I went into full caster mode for a second there because there was so much going on, but
Yeah, it's so hard to keep track. Well, this game is so fast paced. You have to kind of pick a side and figure out where you're at right now.
yeah. I mean, it looks like Panban is struggling against Lorelei. Lorelei is gonna get some optimal clears, but no, she makes the 3 combo. Wait. Okay, no, I was about to say, like, I thought she had no more clears left over for her, but Panban isn't even topping Lorelei off at the moment. Now he is, and Lorelei explores the 3rd tier for a second. Now she's exploring the 1st tier. Now she's exploring the 3rd tier.
Oh no!
She's like a prospector right now. She's exploring all the properties available to her. She's like a realtor or something like that. Manages to get clears on all 3 tiers at different points in the game. Definitely a thorn in Panban's side right now.
We're seeing a lot of garbage on Richie's side in Nicole's game right now. She's got the steel block in between, but it doesn't look like Richie's doing a whole lot to help himself here. He's getting clears in the air, and he's getting a lot of chain clears here. I don't know if he's topped off. I didn't see how much garbage Nicole's actually sending over. It looks like he is topped off for the time being, and I did just see her send another 5 wide, but she's going to take that reset because I could tell as well that match was not going anywhere. And Richard as well taking a reset on Lorelei.
Yeah, both players in the struggle right now. Those were both difficult rounds for both players. I mean, there were some tight situations. I mean, especially that Lorelei going for the 3rd and 2nd tier on the Richard's side. In my opinion, that was really painful. But you paying attention to Richie and Nicole on that one. And speaking of which, she is going to take a reset there.
She took a reset, but did not have to. I think Richie was dead there in a second.
I'm not sure actually. I might have to disagree with my fellow commentator here on this one. I don't agree with the immediate reset, but I don't agree that he was dead.
I think that what Richie was planning on doing there was maybe moving a piece over pretty slowly to get a clear that was already kind of set up, but there was a block in the way. So as he moved it over, well, actually didn't matter because he got the quick kill now.
Yeah.
But, as he would have moved it over, it would have cleared without clearing any garbage, and I think that would have actually given her enough of a break to run out of stop time.
The involuntary 3. I mean, I think we've all been there at one point or another in our lives. And I definitely agree. I see what you're saying now, and I agree with you. But I feel like Nicole almost proved you wrong and proved me right. She did. Because the fact that she got the quick kill right after, she's like, no, you know what? I can do better. She got the 13-second on Richie. I think that's in one of the PBs. You know, like the world record PBs. I'm sure does not have a 13-second Richie. I mean, that's honestly world class Richie pace. But looking at Panban actually right now, I had my eyes naturally zoomed over to his side of the screen because looking at his side of the screen, he had almost no garbage. He had 1 clear to get rid of what Lorelei sent at him, and honestly, I thought he was gonna reset, but he manages to out-patience her, and he's gonna move on to Bruno right now. So he's less than a stage ahead now.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Wait.
This match is definitely getting pretty close.
Oh my god, yeah, I thought that Nicole was about to run out, and she got really lucky on rating it one floor higher. I mean, we judge the computers for doing it to us, right? We judge the AI for being 1 stack too low, but she was 1 stack too low from dying, and then she raised and she found 1 clear out of it, and she's going to be moving on to Bruno as well, just as Panban takes a long route to reset on Bruno, so it's actually still neck and neck right now, super neck and neck. It doesn't get any tighter than this, folks. And Panban looks like Panban dropped his chain twice now, actually, against Bruno, so that's not a good look for him going into this later stage of the game right now. Meanwhile, Nicole doing very well for herself. I mean, it looks like it was a 4, but Bruno is going to cheat and be able to clear it before it lands. She did follow up with quite a few chains. Oh, but Bruno just killed himself. I think. Oh no! Oh, what? Oh, 1 more line. No. Oh my god. Wow. I mean, she got so unlucky on that. I mean, she got lucky into unlucky there because he had a clear that he wasted. It's almost like they're clairvoyant. They're like, it's cool. I'll just make the player rage a little bit. I'll mess with their psyche a little bit. Make sure that they get upset by it. And honestly, looking at Bruno right now, he's really moving right now. His cursor speed is actually decent. But is it going to be enough to get out of this situation? Maybe fire? Oh! Oof!
Oh no.
Oof! And he has the perfect clear setting up for it. And alright, I'm going to look at Panban now. Okay, because that's too much for me. That's too much energy for me. Panban is actually struggling as well for this Bruno. He has a lot of steals on the board. He's been on this Bruno for 10 seconds longer, but they're both equally struggling with it. And Panban is actually close to death himself. Actually, as I was saying earlier, I would rather take Bruno's board than I would take Panban's board. Looking at the two of them right now, because
he does have an out here, and he does have a chain set up. It looks like he's gonna. Oh, but what is? He's cutting it dangerously close here. Oh, and he takes.
Oh my god! When I consider the fact that this is both of these players' tourney lives at stake right now, it gets like I can feel the intensity right now. You know.
Right.
And Nicole cuts her combo short. She sees the pillar on both sides, and she is waiting for Bruno to make the mistake. Very nice recognition from her side, and it looks like it might have it, but no, the horizontal into the vertical clear. Oh no, she miscut. I can't even say she miscut. I feel like she played perfectly, and then she just got the sour end of the stick on that one. Jesus. Wow. No, but Bruno's left with no clears now. No, he's a horizontal. What? Oh, Bruno. Okay, Bruno messed up. He has a second tier clear. He has a second tier clear. I'm barely breathing right now. I'm sorry. Wait, did I mute you by accident? Am I talking over you too much? Hello? Oh, okay, I think I lost Evolution Jovery for a second, but anyway, so this is incredibly intense right now. Both players move into. Wait, no! Did this just happen to Panban? Panban got the glitch. No fucking. No freaking way. No. Reset.
Oh
Reset.
my god.
No. No. Panban doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know to reset. Oh my god. Is this.
Oh my god.
I just returned to see that.
I had to unmute my mic because I had to let it known that. Whoa. I'm gonna mute myself again.
Okay. I am awestruck. I don't. Has that ever happened in a tournament setting before?
Oh my god, dude. No, that's yo, somebody clip that, as Dark Harry said, yo, somebody clip that, because I can't right now. No, that's too much. That's okay, okay, Nicole's resetting, but so is Richard is just getting back into his third attempt to carry. Oh my god, that was the worst, period. Oh my god.
So, the infamous infinite scroll glitch right there is just the unfortunate bane of this game.
It's so rare. It is so
very
rare.
rare.
Like, it happens so infrequently. I've maybe actually caused it. I would say probably 5 times in 10 years. I would say.
Ever since I ran this game, I've seen it myself on my game maybe 3 times, maybe.
Exactly. It's so incredibly rare, and to have it pop up in tournament like that is absolutely ridiculous and so unfortunate for Panban. I mean, Nicole reset, so he got a little bit lucky there, but it does not offset what happened to him. It's not like he was in the middle of a bad run or a bad place, or it's not like anything like that. But it looks like it might pay out for him. They're both going into Mewtwo at the last stage. Oh my god, are you serious right now? They're within a couple seconds right now. This is the tightest thing that's ever happened in this tournament, I think. This is super tight.
Okay.
Super tight.
Match or game 3 of this match oh my god, going into Mewtwo, it is down to this.
And Nicole starts with a 3 combo into a 3 combo into a 2 chain into a 2 chain with a 7. Oh my god. The
Oh,
struggle is
no.
real on Nicole's side, but Panban, he goes 4-4 into a chain, but it's not enough to top off Mewtwo. What the hell is going on right now?
We might be in for a really long Mewtwo fight here on
No.
both sides.
This is absolutely nuts. Yeah, both players are going to be struggling against Mewtwo. We do see Nicole finish off the 6 chain, but her block is not looking too good. Mewtwo does have a clear available to him. He messes it up. But Panban has Mewtwo topped off. Sorry, go ahead.
Nicole needs to be really careful here because she's got a really high stack and she doesn't have a whole lot of to do anything with. Mewtwo is definitely not topped off on either side.
Oh my god, but Mewtwo is really goofing off right now. On Nicole's side, he gave her a plenty of opportunity, but she couldn't drop the chain fast enough. She didn't have any blocks on top of him. Both Mewtwo's are clearing a lot, and there's not a lot on top of them. I mean, it's really hard for me to tell which Mewtwo I'd rather be right now, because both Mewtwo's look to be in a really good position. Oh my god. Dude. This is so tight right now.
This is intense right now.
This is ultimate tight, yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, at least Nicole's Mewtwo has a lot of stuff on top of him. Panban's not as much, and both Mewtwo's have a lot of stuff to work with, so this could easily go for 3 minutes apiece. I mean, they're within 2 seconds of each other, 2 or 3 seconds of each other. They are both clearing a lot, and Panban finally, no, Panban cannot die here. Panban has this only one clear.
It's getting so tight because a death is gonna kill this run, and Nicole is getting so close.
Oh my god! But Nicole is getting glitch bombed right now by the Mewtwo, but she has steals on this side, whereas Panban isn't even topping off the Mewtwo. It's going both ways. Wait, does Nicole have a clear? Yes, she does. She has the flames on the side of the hearts. Let's do this. Oh my god!
Panban's still struggling to top off Mewtwo, but Mewtwo's gonna be able to get this core there.
Oh no! Panban dies.
Oh
Mewtwo,
no!
Oh my god! Wow!
Oh man! And talk about unfortunate, and for Richard there, Nicole winning it at the same time. Oh my goodness!
Holy crap!
You could not ask for a better final match.
Wow, that was absolutely absurd. I mean, Panban almost stole that, like, super hard. I mean, well, not stole that. I mean, he's clearly deserving, considering the fact that it went to Game 3 Mewtwo point set match. But she was the favorite throughout all this, and Panban pushed it to the last seconds, where they were both within a couple seconds of each other, and he just let it slip at the end. That was, honestly, I think, even despite the fact that I've participated in some of these races, and I've watched pretty much all of them, I would say that this is my favorite race so far. This has been absolutely nuts.
So far, this for it to come down to a Mewtwo in match 3 is just insane, and to be just a couple of seconds going into it is you could not ask for a better scenario, it was just you could not tell which way that was going. It could have gone either way at any moment.
Absolutely. I mean, there was differentials in the first 2 games, like 3 stocks, not stocks. I'm sorry, stages, 3 stages, 1 stage. There were some differentials in here too, but as you said, going into Mewtwo, 2 seconds, 3 seconds apart, both of them failing to do the quick kill, both of them in different dire situations. Nicole with the 4 combo on her side, almost glitching her out, and Panban. Richard failing to top off Mewtwo and having to try to generate some volume out of the stack that he was getting. It was just so much up in the air at the moment, and one of these players had to go home, and unfortunately it's going to be Panban after one of the tightest races we've seen ever. Absolutely done. Absolutely nuts.
I don't know about you. I really want to get them in here, just to have a couple of words. I want to know what's going through their head. I want to know if what they were thinking.
Oh, I'm so down. If we can get them in there.
Also, it looks like we have the brackets up right now. If you want to have a few words on that.
Yes, I'm gonna go take a look on those real quick. All
right, so we see here on the bracket
2-1. I like being smart. Heading into the top 8 of the losers bracket, and she is going to be playing the winner of the match between Lightning and Yume. The winner of Nicole versus that match is going to play Flagelstan in the bracket quarterfinal. 2-1. I like being smart. Heading into the top 8 of the losers bracket, and she is going to be playing the winner of the match between Lightning and Yume. The winner of Nicole versus that match is
I'm sorry. Am I still in the call? Because I had the volume on Nicole's stream, and she turned into the stream, so I was hearing her voice. So I didn't know which one. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so she's gonna be facing. She's gonna be facing the winner of Lightning and Yume, which promises to be a great match. I mean, these besides Nicole, these were the two highest two highest, lowest, depends how you want to determine it, seeds going into the losers bracket here. So that's gonna be another really intense match. And I mean, either one of these players against Nicole is gonna be a tough match, and especially, I mean, I want to take a second and give major props to Panban for his performance in that series right there.
I'm saying, man, that I didn't even know what was going on half the time. I felt like there was a clear advantage. I went into this match slightly biased, thinking it was going to go one way, and he put forward a performance that was worthy of a winner. Like either one of them, whoever won, would have been a well-deserved win. And to get a conclusion as hype as that was something that I'm really glad I was here for.
Absolutely, and so between Lightning and Yume, whichever one of them faces off against Nicole, they're going to be meeting up against Flagelstan. Flagelstan played. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Playing up against, he played against Cards of the Heart earlier today, and he ended up in the loser bracket. So he's going to be seeing the winner of I Like Being Smart or Lightning and Yume. So that's a really stacked bracket to be looking at in terms of losers, especially. I mean, as we're getting towards the end of these brackets, the names that we see here are all top-notch players, and honestly, at this point, it's kind of a shame that we can't see more of PanbanRichard in this tournament, because I would have liked to see him again rise to the occasion and almost take down a reputed veteran like Nicole and I Like Being Smart. I Like Being Smart.
Oh, and as Nicole's pointing out, that next match is going to be S hard instead of V hard, so we're going to see a significant increase in difficulty for her next match.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I Like Being Smart. She learned about S hard strats within the past year. Before that, she was kind of, I think, brute forcing them, I guess, most of the time. And when she learned the strats, I think she set a new PB for herself. Very competitive, sub 30. So she is becoming acquainted with the new S hard strat, so it is going to be a completely different game. I think all the matches from now on are going to be S hard only. I mean, after this weekend, I think actually, besides actually no, I'm sorry. I am playing against Shady Jakey on Sunday, just tomorrow. Jesus, and then Lightning and Yume, and then Tame and Shadow. Those are going to be the last V hard matches. Everything after that is going to be S hard. It's going to be a completely different ball game. Just as much pressure, just as much computers, making fools of us over and over and over again, which is the name of the game, and definitely something to look forward to going into the upcoming streams.
All right, it looks like they're not going to be coming in for a post-race interview, so I think that about wraps it up for us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, and I'm sorry if I accidentally said something that was inappropriate. That's my fault.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. Everyone makes mistakes, and especially when we're rattling off commentary, sometimes it happens, man. So don't sweat it.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw out an apology for everyone.
Hold on one sec.
Okay. Oh yeah, we do have Nicole in here.
It looks like Nicole wants to jump in.
Yeah.
All right, let's as soon as Nicole jumps in here, we'll
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of questions for her. I mean, we have to find out if she was looking at Panban's screen at the same time. If she had the stream up to see how tight they were going on into this. Oh, she doesn't have the commentator thing. Okay, so maybe we can move it to a channel.
I can bring her in. I can move her.
Oh, nice. All right.
Oh, there she is.
Nicole,
Hey, Nicole.
how are you doing? I think that speaks for itself.
I hope that was way more entertaining for you guys than it was for me to actually race that, because I have so many swear words for that. But
I think I used them all by accident already, so you'll be fine. But
no, when I race, I heard the little last bit of that. When I race, I don't actually have the stream open, so I had no idea. I just assumed Richard was going to win.
Well,
because
let me give you
total trash.
Let me give you a quick rundown of how the last few minutes of that race shook down.
I would love to hear.
Richard ended up getting infinite scroll glitch on Gary. So he
on his first Gary, yeah, he was about 40-50 seconds into it, if I'm not mistaken. He got the infinite scroll glitch, and he was there before you beat Bruno.
And when you guys went into Mewtwo, 3 seconds apart.
Oh my god!
So you two were there, and it was down to the last minute. Both of you failed to do the strats to Mewtwo, so both of you were at a 3-minute Mewtwo about when it ended, and he actually died at the exact same time that you won against Mewtwo.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that was entertaining, because let me tell you, this personally for me, this has not been a very good week. So I was very much struggling from that perspective. As you could see in the first race, I kind of picked it up in the second one, but the third one, I even typed in the race chat. I think I was at either Lorelei or Bruno. I think I got right into Bruno, and I typed in the race chat, I lost. Because I had this feeling that he was at Gary. And I was just struggling so hard. And I hit Mewtwo, and I said to myself out loud, I'm like, if there's any time for you to get a quick kill, it is right now.
And it didn't happen.
So bad. And I'm like, I just kept looking. I'm like, how is he not done yet? How is he not done yet? How is he not done yet? And then I hit done, and I was like, what the what?
No, I remember you commentated my match against I believe it was you, man. You were telling me that it was like one of the best matches. Like, I have to see the VOD. If you think that if you thought that I had to see the VOD, you have to see this VOD. Absolutely, one of the best puzzle VODs I've ever seen. I think I have ever helped create in my life ever. Period.
This is one that's gonna be infamous, I think.
Yeah.
Great. Because, of course, if I'd like to be known for anything, it would be, the fact that I got a 30-minute very hard time,
No,
one of the members of the community.
You wouldn't notice. You would not notice, because the intensity going into it, because of the fact that you guys were both doing so well and the computers were doing even better sometimes. Like, the intensity was there throughout the last, I would say, 15 minutes of the entire run. I felt like it passed in 1 minute, and suddenly we were at Mewtwo, and then suddenly it became this intensely tight race. Like, who can break the tape on this race right now? And it was absolutely incredible.
That's crazy, though. Like I said, I do remember around Bruno, I typed in I lost, because I was almost positive because I just get this sense sometimes of where people are. And I knew I was having a bad run, but I had this feeling that if he hadn't finished yet, he was having kind of an average run himself, but I felt like I wasn't super far behind at any point. I mean, I was probably about 3 or 4 rounds behind, but I don't think I feel like I wasn't much further than that. So that was silly.
Yeah, the differential between you two guys was never more than 3 stages in
Yeah.
either direction in any of the 3 races, which was absurd in its own right. You know, I mean, sometimes you see a blowout
Oh, that
happen.
means he must have been having a decent run at the second race too. When I finally decided to show up.
Yeah, he was just finishing up Richie when you won, so I guess that's like a 3.5
Yeah.
stage difference. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
was the most difference that there ever was between you two guys when in that second game when you turned it up, but nothing prepared us for that third game. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I'm glad I gave everyone a show. I'm glad I made it exciting. I probably won't watch the entire third race. I might just watch the very end, just because I was very, very frustrated. But
Yeah. Well,
I'm
congratulations
glad you got some
anyway, though.
entertainment out of it. Yeah, thank you. And I'll go on to S Hard, and that'd be hilarious if I got a sub 30
Oh.
hard in the last thing I did. Was a 30
I mean, we have you here now. Let's ask you some questions about this S hard match that you're going into. So we have Lightning or Yume, right? So who's your what's your prediction? Who do you think is going to win?
They're still on very hard, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
very hard.
I mean, I have, even though apparently Yume told me later that I actually 2-0'd him in group stage and hard, I have a lot of faith in Yume, but I also know Lightning is very competitive, and I mean, Lightning might just step it up so he could just get into the next round to kick my ass. So it's a very real possibility, because he and I have, well, I kind of said some mean thing, and he's kind of never let me live it down. But I mean, that's going to be a super good match as well. I definitely think people should tune into that, because I think they're. I have a lot of faith in Yume from group stage, even though it was hard mode. And I know Lightning's been around for a long time. He's a good player as well. So I don't know. I don't really know who I'd give the edge to necessarily. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout either way.
Okay, so I mean, then that forced the question: who would you rather face going into this?
I think I know the answer.
Be honest. Be honest. Tell me.
Oh,
Tell me the truth.
being, as much as I like being smart, I also like being honest.
All right, let me hear the truth, babe.
Here's the thing though. Like, I think in an S hard setting, even though I think Yume's a good player, I think in an S hard setting, I'd be more likely to beat Yume, but I think it would be significantly more rewarding to beat Lightning.
Ooh,
So
okay. I like this answer.
I'd like to see him move on, so I can kick some butt.
Nice. Okay.
I'm very much looking forward, or hoping for a grudge match between Nicole and Lightning.
Yeah.
I had Lightning over at my house. We were playing Tetris Attack, and he was talking about the ancient history between Nicole and him.
Yeah.
And so there's a little bit of blood there. I think it'll make for some very good puzzle matches.
Yeah, but I mean, don't count Yume out. Is all I'm saying.
Not at all.
Absolutely
Do
not.
not count him out at all.
Never can.
He's good.
Never can.
So.
All right. So let's assume that you get what you want and you get Lightning, right? And let's say that you beat him, right?
Okay.
You're facing up against Flagostan next. How do you feel?
Flag, have fun going back to winner's bracket. Loser side of winner's bracket.
You think
That's how
Flag
I
can take
feel
you?
about that. If I get to Flag, I don't have. I mean, I'm 20-80 against Flag generously.
Wow.
Maybe 25-75. He will kick, if I get past whoever's coming next, he will kick my ass. And he's incredibly good. And I know he probably wouldn't be a huge fan of me saying that, because I think he has a lot more faith in my Puzzle League ability than I do. But I mean, but it's as hard any given Sunday. So, but I would definitely put him as the heavy favorite if I end up getting to the match with Flag.
Well, thank you. And I have one more question before I give it over to Devolution Derby. So in the winner's side, we have BB Forky against FFR Pro, and the winner of that is going to go against Cards of the Heart. What do you feel like between Forky and FFR Pro? How do you think that's going to go?
Oh, geez, that's gonna be tough, I think, because I mean, like, if you have to think, or I think at least that Thomas, has represented this game in a marathon from an S hard perspective, so he's definitely used to this idea of like the pressure and being able to perform. But I mean, Forky's just really good too. I think that's going to be another really close one. I think. And either one of them has a chance to move on. But I mean, Cards is the Puzzle League wall. You gotta get past Cards to win a tournament like this. So regardless of who ends up winning and playing out, Cards is the final boss. Always has been. So, but I don't know. I think Forky and Thomas is too close to call for me.
Right.
I think either one of them could be good.
Thank you for answering my questions. I'm going to give it over to Devolution Derby now. I've kind of cut you out because I had a lot of pressing questions on my mind after that last game. So sorry.
I feel pretty satisfied with that interview there. I just want to give my congratulations to Richard. Doing as well as he did. He really brought it during that match.
Now I have a quick question for you guys because I wasn't watching the stream. Was that a PB for him in the first race, or close to it?
I don't believe it was. It was. So I believe he was like a
race
minute
PB though. I saw, but
absolutely, yeah. I mean, we're not sure if his splits are average or if they're PB, but either way, it says 19 something. So if it was below 19 something, then he at the very least beat his average. Might be his PB.
I did count like 7 gold splits though. So
yeah, 7 gold splits.
He was on an amazing run for that first round.
Yeah. So, and that's what I thought because I saw it was a race PB. So I was thinking, okay, if a race PB for him is 22, then that because I was, sometimes I come in thinking, okay, this is kind of around the time I need. And I thought to be competitive in this particular match, I was going to need around 20 minutes. So 19, 20, maybe 21. So when I saw he got 22, I was thinking, okay, that's pretty much where I kind of had it pegged in regards to me needing to be competitive. So when I end up pulling the 18 in the second race, it's like, okay, fine. All I have to do is do that again. And then
you move into the 30-minute slot.
Then 30 minutes happens. So I'm just like, I don't know what's going on this week. This entire week has just been very screwy in many different parts of my life. And this is just adding to the quirkiness of the week. So
I believe the week starts on Sunday, right? In America, right? So 12:07, it's a new week, and you won at the end of last week. So you're starting the new week on a good note. And
for sure.
I think you should have a much more understandable and easy week going into this as you wait for the challenger that's coming for you between Lightning and Yume.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the chat. That was awesome.
Absolutely, and congratulations to you again. It is well deserved, and we're looking forward to seeing more matches with you.
Yeah, I'm looking. I hate saying I feel blessed to be moving on, but I kind of feel blessed to be moving on because I thought for sure I was done.
Watch the VOD. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
I thought I was done.
Watch.
And I think it would have been fascinating too, probably if you guys had been in the race chat and seen when I typed I lost. It probably would have lined up with what you guys are saying. So it's pretty good.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I'm glad I gave some entertainment for everybody tonight, and
yeah.
It wasn't fun for me, but I'm glad it was fun for you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on to Voice for this interview. Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
And any final thoughts? I don't know. I asked you a bunch of questions. Is there anything that you want to, I don't know, give a shout out? Somebody, who do you want to, I guess, win somewhere somehow? I don't know. Anything like that?
Let me see what's shaping up for the rest of losers bracket, but I don't know where the I
Okay,
don't know where the brackets
got
are.
you. I got you. I'm in chat right now, and here's the link right here. If you, this is just if you have any shout outs. I didn't want to force anything. I was
No,
just
no,
trying
no, no, no. I'm just kind of curious as to
what it looks like now, right?
yeah.
After that roller coaster, right?
Roller coaster is one way to put it. I feel like I mean I can't remember which match I commentated on, but I feel like the tournament overall has produced some pretty quality runs. I mean Shadow was in my group. I know he's solid. Infinite Chain and Jake's been around for a long time. That should be a good match. Lightning. So we've got some really good matches coming up. And I think if you stay tuned to twitch.tv/puzzle general, you can see more great Pokemon Puzzle League tournament action.
I definitely agree.
Free plug. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the rest of these and how it all shakes out. So
All right. Well, for me, I have to say best of luck to you in your next match, whatever that may be.
all right.
I'm just about done. I don't know about you, Devolution and Dark.
I'm definitely done here. I am very good to go.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Dark, and thank you, Nicole, for your game. Thank you, PanbanRichard. Thank you to all the viewers. Thank you to Devolution for managing with me.
Oh, no problem.
That's my shout out. You guys go ahead now. I'm done.
Yeah, shout outs to Panban, man. That was nuts. I'm sure he played very well, and this tournament's been super cool too, just to kind of and I'm kind of renowned for making losers bracket runs, so hopefully I'll be seeing you guys some more on the channel. So